Sit back and relax, educate and inform. Cozy conversations, drop the knowledge that's for real. Indigo Studio, always in the know. With Hermine Hartman, you'll be enlightened. Up and up we grow.
Welcome to another episode of Indigo Studio, and today we've got a very serious conversation. We want to talk about cannabis, not just cannabis, but the equity of cannabis. The war on drugs disproportionately targeted people of color, and so now we want to bring social justice to the cannabis situation, and that is the legalization and the selling of cannabis legally. Legislation guarantees social equity. That's the aim of legislation introduced by Representative LaShawn Ford, and minority ownership in the industry. To date, the state of Illinois tax revenue has collected $750 million. Tyrone Muhammad, he is the executive director of ex-cons for community and social change. Senator Ricky Henn, he is not a senator acting, but he has been, and he is always a senator for me. Senator Ricky Henn, and he has won a license for cannabis. Dr. Samina Rahman, she prescribes cannabis to her patients, and she is a women's health doctor. And last but not least, Representative LaShawn Ford, who has introduced serious legislation to make sure that cannabis is equal in the state of Illinois.
Cozy conversations, drop the knowledge that's for real.
Ricky Henn, let me start with you, because you have won a license for cannabis. Tell us about the license and what you are awarded to do and where you are with it.
Okay, Westside Visionaries is my group. We won one license for dispensary. It's a conditional license, as we were talking off set. That's the problem. It should not be conditional. If you want a license to grow cannabis, craft grow, it's not conditional. The conditions make it hard to raise money.
So explain conditional. What does conditional
license mean? You have the license, but you have to meet these conditions that the state sets.
And what are those conditions?
Well, it depends on the interpretation of the rules. I agree with LaShawn Ford, Representative Ford, that there is no condition in there that we can't transfer ownership or raise money like any other corporation in America. And they want us to go to the loan fund, but the loan fund so far hasn't given out any money. And I helped create it, so of course I'm bothered about that.
So you have a conditional license, and it has conditions, and one of the conditions is about money itself.
Right, they want you to open the doors before you can do any kind of deal or arrangement.
Chicken or the egg,
how
right?
you gonna raise the money if, we need to be able to raise the money now and open the doors. That's all.
So, Representative Ford, what does your legislation aim to do?
Well, what we did, working with social equity applicants, we increased the number of licenses and made sure that that the intended initial legislation was aiming to target GAT licenses, like Ricky Hendon. So we increased the number, and those people were awarded conditional licenses. But as Ricky Hendon said, it's important to know that there are challenges, because any business in America, if you want to sell off and open up to investors, you have a right to do it. Well, today in Illinois, that business doesn't have that right because the conditions will not allow it. And that's a problem for businesses in Illinois when right now the federal government say you can't go to banks and borrow money. You can't go anywhere to borrow money in order to grow your business.
Or deposit money.
Or deposit. So now they're left hanging saying, figure out how you're gonna do it. If you can't do it, then you're gonna lose your license. That's ridiculous.
So explain this. So in cannabis, there are 4 businesses. So you get a license for growth, dispensary, transportation. What's the 4th?
You are infusers.
And infusers. Okay.
Now,
so it's not one, you don't get one license for all of those. Those are separate licenses?
Now that's so important, Hermine, because what we're working on now with the new legislation is to allow transporters. Most of the black people got transporter license. You know how it go. But they don't have no business. So they have to pay the state, but they have no business. So we're, part of our new legislation is allow the transporters to deliver to the public, not just license to license, because there are only so many licenses. And the big boys also have a transportation company, so they don't want to give no business to the blacks and Latinos and the women. So let the transporters deliver to the public, go to 14,000 square feet of craft grow, because you can't raise any money at 5,000 square feet. The people are like, you ain't growing enough weed.
So that's the law now, 5,000.
Right.
And you want to increase that to 14,000.
Right. And we also want consumption lounges.
Consumption
They have them in different states where people can come to the lounge, and we want these to be true social equity.
You know what Senator Hendon is talking about when you talk about the ability to grow in your canopy and you only have 5,000 square feet to grow. That's very difficult for anybody to do anything in the cannabis space when the big conglomerates have 200,000 square feet where they can grow up to 200,000 of cannabis feet of cannabis.
Not fair.
And that's
That's
a lot of
not
weed.
fair.
That's a lot
Our
of
new
weed.
legislation that I've sent over to Representative Ford, I'm in the Canna Alliance, is to allow us to go to 25,000 square feet, because we're pretty sure we're going to get to 14. So now we're going to
They ain't never satisfied her, man.
They just 25. When they get 25,
Yeah.
My bill last year was for blacks and Latinos to be able to get 100,000 square feet.
see?
Because
That's where
if
it's
the big
going.
boys have 200,000, why can't we have 100,000?
Why can't you have 200?
Right,
Yeah, why
that's
can't you have
exactly
That's
right.
right. All right, so we'll be right back. We're talking about cannabis, the benefits of it, and the problems of it. Don't go away. This is Indigo Studio.
How dependable is your power? As dependable as 2 a.m. wake-up calls. Grandpa showing up an hour early. And perfect timing. Because you can count on ComEd to keep the lights on and keep you informed. So your electric service is as dependable as sleepless nights.
In all of Chicago, there's no place like Wicked.
So if you care to find me, look to the western sky.
Don't miss your chance to defy gravity at the Nederlander Theater from September 28th through December 4th. NBC Nightly News calls it the most successful Broadway show ever. Visit BroadwayInChicago.com to get Wicked.
The sun has risen, the pride has returned, and the time has come to join the circle of life at The Lion King.
Now playing at the Cadillac Palace Theater through January 14th. Get tickets at BroadwayInChicago.com.
Our goal is to see you become effective leaders
To support your passions.
and help your community. So whether you're pursuing an undergraduate degree or transferring from another school, our goal
Our goal
Our goal
is to see you accomplish yours.
Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Now playing at the Cadillac Palace Theater through January 14th. Get tickets at BroadwayInChicago.com.
Cozy conversations, dropping knowledge that's for real.
Mr. Muhammad, now your beef is, this was, at one point, weed was very targeted, black community. People went to jail for it. Now you come out of jail, but you can't get a dispensary. Speak to that issue for me.
Well, as someone who served 21 years of prison, I had my share of run-ins with the police in terms of cannabis. Just from my history and recollection, for 70 years, our people been going to prison for selling cannabis to make ends meet, you know. And then to somehow say that you want to make cannabis legal to deal with the disinvestment caused by the war on drugs, but yet the very people that are affected by the disinvestment, that was the war on drugs, are not the first people that get cannabis license, is a problem to me.
Okay.
What you're telling me is that either we are, as a people, so broken that we will allow people to legalize something without first fixing the damage that thing caused, that war caused, before anybody could make weed legal. You should have first identified all the people who they say Joe Biden is about to let out first. Before you could ever make something legal, you have to repair a damage before then you award something to someone who never was affected by it.
So you want remedies?
Well, it has to be remedy. We can't openly allow people to lie in our face and say social equity. It shouldn't be allowed to pass, to be legalized before you fix the damage that was caused by the very thing that you say you want equity in.
It shouldn't even been called social equity. Social equity, that title is a problem.
Right.
It should have been minority participation, affirmative action. We have not come so far till we can get beyond that. But the legislators thought, well, we'll use this term and it's non-racial and then you won't get sued. We got sued anyway. So I agree with Brother Tyrone. We should let the people who've had problems in the industry.
So now, Dr. Rahman, I want to ask you a medical question. So you prescribe cannabis to patients for?
A wide variety of reasons, actually. So I'm a gynecologist, women's health, and you know, I mean, if you look at the history of medical cannabis, it's been 4000 BC. People were using it in China, you know, then it went to India, then it spread, you know, to Egypt and Africa. I mean, so it's been something that's been around for millennia, you know, and people are using it for the benefits that we know. And, you know, of course, big benefits are pain. We know that we have chronic pain that can be helped, joint pain, headaches. And there's so much new data coming out. Now that I think it's 19 states have legalized cannabis, there's so many patients that are using it. For instance, women are using cannabis to get through menopause, like the insomnia, the anxiety, the mood changes that come with this change of life. I think there was a study that came out last week, 86% of these women are using cannabis to get through their menopausal symptoms. So pain, mood, anxiety, like it treats everything that you could actually imagine.
If cannabis has, like you say, it's really an ancient drug.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if it has been beneficial, why is it illegal in the first place?
We empower white men, because that's what we're talking about. I don't like to play games with the public and the people. When white men create a monopoly on something and then legislate to prosecute the very people that they claim to want to help for a product that's natural, that's been here, that's a problem for me, especially when those very bodies that's languishing in these prisons and in the graveyard to push this product aren't the first people that's on the front line that the legislators fight for to even get transportation. Here we are talking about consumption.
Just real quick, I mean, you're right, and that's something that we're working on doing. We're working on changing the badging.
You can't work on changing if you don't have them at the table.
You can't work. You're not the only ex-con in Chicago. I got some work with me right now. I have some work with me right now on the west side and south side who understand and agree with you. Okay. But don't act like some of us don't get it.
We'll be right back. We're talking about cannabis, the benefits of it, and the problems of it. Don't go away. This is Indigo Studio.
How dependable is your power? As dependable as 2 a.m. wake-up calls. Grandpa showing up an hour early. And perfect timing. Because you can count on ComEd to keep the lights on and keep you informed. So your electric service is as dependable as sleepless nights.
In all of Chicago, there's no place like Wicked.
So if you care to find me, look to the western sky.
Don't miss your chance to defy gravity at the Nederlander Theater from September 28th through December 4th. NBC Nightly News calls it the most successful Broadway show ever. Visit BroadwayInChicago.com to get Wicked.
The sun has risen, the pride has returned, and the time has come to join the circle of life at The Lion King.
Now playing at the Cadillac Palace Theater through January 14th. Get tickets at BroadwayInChicago.com.
Our goal is to see you become effective leaders
To support your passions
and help your community. So whether you're pursuing an undergraduate degree or transferring from another school, our goal
Our goal is to see you accomplish yours.
Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Now playing at the Cadillac Palace Theater through January 14th. Get tickets at BroadwayandChicago.com.
Cozy conversations, dropping knowledge that's for real.
So, Dr. Rodman, I want you to go through the history of cannabis in the first place and how we got from illegal to legal to where we are today. Walk me through that history.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about how cannabis has been around since BC, 4000 BC, but I think the earliest documented in the United States was actually during the colonies, like I think it was the 1600s. And at that time, they were kind of growing hemp, for textiles, but also using it, for the CBD aspect. But it was around 1910 that there was a Mexican Revolution occurred, where a lot of the Mexican workers had moved to the South, and then at that time they were, working very hard as laborists, and eventually, they would debrief by smoking a little weed, and this became associated with the Mexicans are smoking weed and they're coming in here taking our jobs, if this sounds familiar. Mm-hmm. And then the same thing would happen, when jazz got really, popular, actually. When jazz music was popular, they called it Satan's music, and it was because they were smoking the reefer. They called it reefer music and all this stuff.
Reefer, that's it.
Yeah. And so
the
eventually,
blacks are smoking the reefer.
Yeah, exactly.
The Mexicans are smoking.
And they're bringing in this satanic music to us, and then all of a sudden they're like, we got to make this illegal and that was right around the early 1900s.
So, Ricky, you pointed out Rockefeller got involved.
Big American industrialists, for various reasons, mostly economics, pushed the president at the time and the legislature in D.C. to make cannabis illegal.
That's right.
And separate hemp from cannabis. So it was all about business. It was all about economic development and the racism that came with it that made it illegal. And fortunately now, under President Joe Biden, he has indicated that he's going to make it legal nationally.
Talk about what that means, though, because when it becomes legal, it means, first of all, you can put your money in the bank.
Yes. Exactly.
It means you can go to the bank for a legitimate business and get a loan.
In fact, they passed.
That's the main
they
thing,
passed the finance bill now
in the House,
in the House, that'll allow you to bank the money, and when it becomes national, then Tyrone can be in Atlanta and I can be in Chicago and I can ship cannabis to him and not go to jail.
So you can't mail it right now.
Right now you can't.
I am for you having a license, and I want everyone to know on your show that I'm all for people that have been convicted of cannabis to be in the business.
So listen, if Representative Ford makes it legal for you to do cannabis as you see fit, what would you do?
So first of all, I've never been convicted of cannabis.
I've
been arrested. Let me show you. Let me just explain. I've been arrested for cannabis so many times.
What was you arrested for?
And because of legal search and seizures at the time didn't allow police officers to just pull black men up while profiling black men, we was able to skirt a lot of the convictions. Now it's not the same. That's just some reasonable suspicion could pull you over now because the laws have changed so much to discriminate and violate our rights. Walking while black, driving while black. All these ills and issues haven't changed. They only heightened. And even today, cannabis has now become the new excuse to pull black men over while high for search of guns.
Well, would you answer my question?
Yes, what was the question?
So what the question
He'll
was,
open them up a store. That's what Tyrone gonna do.
What would you like to do with cannabis as to make it legal?
Yes.
Let's say it's legal and you want to get a license. You would open up what?
Yes, I'm already working towards this.
Would you answer my question,
I got to
please?
answer in my way.
Let me answer it for him. He will open up a dispensary. He will also hire people that have been convicted,
to work for
and
him
they
to
will
store.
rebuild the communities.
And
He will
that's
put
good.
people to work.
That's
He
a good
does
thing.
it now with no money. I know. Now go ahead, Tyrone.
Listen,
you can
thank
talk.
I appreciate it because I so hate. I thought this was a democracy. I can speak the way I want and express the way I want.
Democracy's on the line.
My thing is, I must deal with the violations first. I mean, I want to focus on the fact that there are people with cannabis license that shouldn't have them.
Don't wait you point at me.
Not you.
All right, then,
I'm
watch
finna
that
get
finger
your
then, dog.
approval.
Why shouldn't they have them?
They shouldn't have you. 99.9% of all dispensaries grow owned by white men who've never
agree
been
with that.
affected by the war on
So
drugs.
you're saying you should be
can't-
affected before you can get a license? You should be.
No, I'm
Well, what are
already
you
I'm
saying?
in that space, and it's not about me. Is what I'm telling you. Until you deal with, I'm not even focused on me receiving the license before I'm focused on me being released from prison.
Okay.
And the communities that was damaged by the war on drugs, the 30% tax shouldn't go to the government. It should go to fix our communities. But yet they've used the tax dollars in a way that gives now another pimp and a hustle game with the tax dollars that pushes money to organizations under the R3 program that never trickles into the community. See, y'all want to focus on dispensaries.
Don't you know y'all? Y'all know.
Hermine, this is
We're
important.
trying to
This is important.
understand you.
This is important. This is important. If I can, my friend.
B, C, D. Before you ever get to dispensary.
There is, while he's fighting on that, in the name of Jesus, we are now, Hermine, we are now, this is important, and your viewers will appreciate this.
Okay.
While he's fighting on that, I'm fighting to make sure that the 55 new licenses, which the governor is about to put out, which were supposed to come out in October, November, that they are true social equity people.
So how many licenses
there are 55
are
new
at
ones
stake?
coming out.
How many licenses are we waiting for award?
185. What's important, what Tyrone is saying, where I agree with him is, while he's fighting that fight, 55 more licenses about to come out. I got to fight that fight.
When are
to
they
make
coming
sure,
out?
It was supposed to be November. I want to fight the fight of making sure our people get those 55 licenses and that they don't go to white men.
Puffy Combs, he's coming to Chicago, New York, Massachusetts with 155 million, and he's spun off from Cresco Labs.
Right. That's his favorite dispensary.
You welcome that? That's your lab you like? No?
No, I fight them all the time. See, this is what I mean.
So would you fight Combs?
Yes.
Okay.
Combs is not social equity.
Okay.
Combs is black.
Combs, what? Do black mean social equity?
I welcome P. Diddy to this time.
No,
Yes.
black don't mean
I
black
welcome-
because it's black.
So
I
social
welcome-
equity means what?
I'm gonna show you what
I
social
think
equity
he went.
would mean.
He said it. Combs don't
Combs
have
have
no
never
convictions.
Combs have never been affected by the war on drugs. He's already
invested.
rich.
But what's wrong
He's
with him
invested.
investing?
What's wrong with him
investing?
investing?
He's consistent
What's
though,
wrong-
Hermine.
I'm gonna let y'all.
What's
I'm
wrong
gonna
with
let y'all
Puffy
tell
Combs?
me what.
No,
happened.
he's consistent.
All I'm saying is what's wrong
You
with a black
talking
man?
business. That's all you talking.
What's wrong with
You're
a
not
black man
talking about
investing with us?
justice, bro.
Well,
and that's
I'm
what I
talking
don't.
both.
You know what?
I
I mean,
can't
let
deal
me
with
just
y'all.
say,
I can't deal with
I
y'all.
think that
I welcome
it's very
y'all hustlers
important.
now. I can't deal with that.
It's important to know that Tyrone has been consistent in this
I
discussion.
fought more than anybody for them 50 licenses.
I
you know
was out there with you.
Exactly.
But
So
I'm getting ready to defend you.
We
But
gotta
let
be
me
able to
defend
go
you.
ahead,
Go
one
ahead,
time.
go
It's
ahead.
important to note
This
that he
serious.
has been
I
consistent
agree.
in this discussion. Because from the beginning, he said the only people that should have access to licenses are people that have been impacted. And to hear him say just because Sean Puffy Combs is black, that still doesn't make him acceptable.
That's not the reason.
He's consistent, and I think that he should continue
But
to fight.
impacted don't just mean the ones who went to jail. You was impacted
The community.
if the drug dealer lived next door to you. You was impacted if they shot up your
Absolutely.
crib over some weed.
Absolutely.
You was impacted if your kids couldn't pass that corner
Absolutely.
because the guy said, "It's my corner."
I'm not-
selling his weed. So impacted don't just mean the one. It means community.
I'm not talking about
So
this. Is
social
what
equity means who is
That's
who
okay.
is social
Most
equitable?
people-
Define the
I'm
social
gonna say it.
equitable
White folks
person.
talk social equity. I don't
Right,
talk.
I hate it.
Social equity means everything but black people to me.
I hate social.
So if you can use that term,
That's a
DEI,
bad term for real.
DEI is not created by us. Diversity, equity, and inclusion then wasn't created by black people.
So define it.
So I'm gonna define it.
Okay.
when you start talking the social equity, what that means is most people that's fighting for these licenses, the women that's been in this space and never been affected truly by the war on drugs, are entrepreneurs.
Right.
The ones that's truly been affected by the war on drugs and have been victimized by the war on drugs are those young brothers sitting in prison, are the people on the streets with no opportunity and X's on their name where they discriminated against because of cannabis and other substances.
But some of them are women. Some women have been negatively affected by cannabis.
If you have been affected negatively with jail, he wants you to be able to get into
talking about the brothers that don't have one.
I am one of the brothers. I'm still one of them, Tyrone. You cannot separate me from my people. I ain't going to accept it. You can't separate me from my people just because I want to. Please, yeah, ain't even true. I was the only Negro out there marching with you that had any, that was ever elected to nothing.
I was working with
marched
you.
with you, Negro. Quit playing.
I like that.
And I came out there for you, bro. He cannot separate us from himself.
Yes, I can.
That's the problem with black
we
people.
Do that
we
now.
keep trying to separate ourselves.
Are the only group in caste and class that's perpetually
Come on,
discriminated
Madison,
against
right now in my office, it's full of ex-cons right now.
So,
what are you talking
ladies
about?
And gentlemen, what?
My political organization is full of ex-cons, ex-this and ex-that. We can't get caught up on them exes. No, they don't.
Why?
They got Ricky Hendon. They don't need no light. They got me.
Can I defer?
And there's 55 more coming up.
The law, cannabis, I want to defer to Representative Ford.
Absolutely.
Because he has been the advocate for the law, to pass the law, as you all have discussed this with him at every single level. You got to give him credit for that. And you keep changing the game. You go from 15, goddammit, to 25, and then 25
we
to 50,
don't even get a
50.
job.
So, Representative Ford, give me some words of wisdom,
You know,
please.
words of wisdom is everyone in America could get what they want if they're willing to fight for it.
Okay.
And so I think that it's clear to say that Tyrone has a lane that he wants to go down.
Yes.
And he should fight for that.
That's right.
I don't care what the issue is in America. Democracy says you have to fight for it. And Ricky is right. It's impacted. Communities are impacted. Families have been destroyed by the war on drugs. So it's not just people that are in jail for cannabis.
Because some of us didn't get caught.
Right.
We
So
ran faster than our boy. That's all.
It is important to note that. But the key is that we have to come together and really fight together. Otherwise, as you see,
that's what I'm saying.
This conversation is an example of how difficult it is to make public policy. Because we're right here, right now, and we can't agree.
So we agree with Dr. Rodman because she can prescribe.
We can agree with that. That is clear.
You can prescribe.
Yes.
I thank you all for a lively, honest, candid conversation on cannabis. I hope you all learned something. I certainly did. This is Hermine Hartman with Indigo Studio, talking about cannabis, trying to understand, trying to wrap our arms around it. Thank you for watching.
Sit back and relax, educate and inform. Cozy conversations, dropping knowledge that's for real. Indigo Studio.